Good morning, and thank you for joining me today. I want to speak to you, especially if you're over 60, about a subject close to my heart and critical to your well-being. The foods you should avoid if you've ever experienced a mini-stroke. You see, having a transient ischemic attack, that mini-stroke, is a warning sign from your body that something isn't quite right, and it's a call to take better care of yourself. Over the years, as a doctor and someone who has worked with many older adults, I've seen how even small dietary choices can significantly impact your recovery and long-term health, particularly when it comes to your cardiovascular system. Today, I'd like to share with you 5 common foods that, if you've had a mini-stroke, you really should think twice about including in your diet, because they could contribute to further blockages in your arteries and increase your risk of a full-blown stroke. Before we continue, I'd like to gently remind you to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Every week, I share practical, warm, and trustworthy health advice that can help you and your loved ones live a safer, healthier life. Now, let's talk about the first food group, processed meats. Many of us have enjoyed a good slice of deli meat, bacon, or sausage at some point. These foods are convenient, flavorful, and part of many cherished routines, yet they are typically high in sodium, saturated fats, and chemical preservatives. Over time, these ingredients can contribute to the buildup of plaque in your arteries, making them stiffer and narrowing the space through which your blood flows. For someone who has already experienced a mini-stroke, this increased pressure and reduced blood flow can be especially dangerous, potentially paving the way for a more severe event. I always tell my patients that while it may be hard to give up a habit that brings comfort, replacing these options with leaner protein sources like fresh fish or skinless poultry can make a world of difference in protecting your heart and brain. The second food to be cautious of is refined carbohydrates and sugary snacks. I know it's tempting to reach for a sweet treat or a pastry with your morning coffee, but these foods cause rapid spikes and drops in blood sugar. For older adults, such fluctuations put extra stress on your blood vessels and can lead to inflammation. This is particularly problematic for someone with a history of mini-strokes because the delicate balance of your vascular system is already compromised. Instead, I encourage you to enjoy whole grains and natural fruits, which provide a steadier source of energy and have a protective effect on your circulation. These choices not only benefit your metabolic health, but also support smoother blood flow, reducing the chances of clot formation. Next, we must address the role of dairy products, especially those that are heavily processed. While dairy can be an important source of calcium and protein, many processed varieties are laden with additives and high levels of saturated fats. If you've had a mini-stroke, your arteries may be more vulnerable, and the extra fat and chemicals in processed cheeses or flavored yogurts can contribute to further narrowing of your vessels. I have always advised my patients to opt for plain, low-fat dairy options if they choose to include dairy in their diets, or better yet, consider alternative sources of calcium such as leafy greens or fortified plant-based milks, which tend to be gentler on the heart and blood vessels. The fourth category is fried foods. I know that a crispy treat might feel like a little indulgence, but fried foods are typically high in unhealthy fats and often cooked in oils that can elevate your cholesterol. For those who have already experienced a mini-stroke, these foods can exacerbate arterial blockages and create inflammatory responses in the body that further increase stroke risk. It's not necessary to eliminate all forms of enjoyment from your meals, but I encourage you to consider healthier cooking methods such as baking, grilling, or steaming that retain flavor without burdening your cardiovascular system. Finally, I want to talk about high-sodium foods, which might come as a surprise because many of us don't think of salt as dangerous until it shows up on a blood pressure reading. Excess sodium, prevalent in canned soups, fast foods, and many restaurant dishes, can lead to elevated blood pressure, a leading risk factor for strokes. For seniors, even slight increases in blood pressure can have significant consequences. It is important to monitor your salt intake carefully and choose fresh, natural foods over highly processed options. A little extra flavor from herbs and spices can go a long way without the harmful side effects of too much sodium. Throughout my years of practice, I have seen many cases where gradual dietary adjustments have made an enormous difference in my patients' lives. Take my patient Mr. Johnson, for example, a 68-year-old gentleman who loved his daily deli sandwiches and fried snacks. After experiencing a mini-stroke, we worked together to revamp his breakfast and lunch routine, switching to whole grains, fresh vegetables, and lean proteins. Over the following months, his blood pressure stabilized and his overall energy improved significantly. I share his story with all my patients as a reminder that even small changes can be life-saving. If you're listening to this and thinking about your own diet, I encourage you to reflect on your daily meals. Sometimes, the foods we have enjoyed for decades might be quietly working against us. It isn't about deprivation, it's about making smarter, healthier choices that protect your brain, your heart, and your future. Remember, you deserve to live with confidence and vitality, and every change you make is a step toward a healthier, longer life. Thank you for taking the time to listen today. If you found this message helpful, please like this video and share it with someone you love, perhaps a friend or family member who might benefit from these gentle reminders. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for weekly advice on living well and aging gracefully. Until next time, take care and always trust your body's signals.